Now we have one last step to finishing up a solid body for this neck, and we're going to have some more detail work to do. But first, we want to turn this into a solid, and we could do that by building a bunch more surfaces to close this off. But there's a quicker way in SOLIDWORKS, and I'm going to show you that way right now. It's kind of a shortcut, and it's really useful. So what we should do is go up to our Surfaces tab and use the Knit Surface command to knit each of these segments into one giant surface. And now we have one big surface, and it is open. We want it to become a closed solid. So in the right plane, I'm going to create a sketch, and you'll notice that I have several of my other planes visible. You're going to see why as I go here. First of all, I'm just going to create some sketch elements here that are going to roughly approximate a box. And this box we're going to constrain to these other planes, okay? So I'm going to take this front edge, for example, and constrain it to the soundboard plane, right? The plane that's right across the front of the guitar. Then I'm going to take this one up here, and I'm going to constrain it to the headstock plane. Make that collinear. Then down here, I'm going to take this guy, constrain that to the back face of the guitar. We'll make those collinear as well. Then this one right here, I can actually constrain that to this plane we created called the body height plane. Okay, so I'll make that collinear as well, body height plane. And then finally, this last one down here, I mean, it doesn't really matter where it is. I'll just drag it on up here out of the way. We could let's see if we can find a plane that's out there that we could use. Maybe we'll just use a sketch. I'm going to find my head profile sketch right here, head outline. I'm going to create a smart dimension from the tip of that out to this blue line. There we go. Then we can have kind of an arbitrary dimension, so it's just out there away from the tip of the head. So when we change the length of this neck, this guy's going to move along with it. So now we have a fully constrained sketch. And what's important to note about this is that the front edge of this is exactly collinear with the front open edges of these surfaces. All right, so let's hide our planes for a second here, because we don't need to see those. I'll just hit W on the keyboard to hide everything. And if I were to, the one issue that we might have here is that I believe this lofted edge doesn't necessarily match up exactly with that plane that we constrained our box to. So what we need to do is go ahead and take our Edge Extend tool. I'm going to grab this edge and its adjacent edge, so we get that entire edge there, and just extend it by 20 millimeters, just so that it's coming out just a little bit further. Use the same surface, and we get a nice clean edge extension there, just so we got a little bit of extra to work with. And now I'll hit W again to bring back all of our stuff. I'm going to run the Feature Extrude and grab this sketch we just created. So we got a big block coming out. Now we could just click OK and then use this surface to trim back that block, and we would end up with a solid, which is cool. But here's a shortcut. Instead of doing that, we'll go in and change from blind to up to surface. And then I can choose this surface, and it's just going to extrude right up until it smacks into that surface and stop. And you'll notice it has figured out that we don't need any of this part of the block. We only need the part that's inside the surface. So we click OK. We hide our original surface geometry there. We'll go back up here, and I'm going to hide all these planes that we showed as well. And hide this right plane. And we have, friends, the basis for the neck of a guitar. Really cool stuff.